my road atlas. My dad got me this in 2006, and it's been with me on a few trips, but I will say I am thankful for GPS because it's hard to read maps. So for this story, I already had an idea in mind, but what I do is open the atlas. There is something to be said for, you'll hear my dog walking around too. She wants to be part of the conversation. There's something to be said for having a physical book in your hand and being able to hold something and thumb through it. So for this first story, Point Judith in Narragansett, Rhode Island, I already knew that I kind of wanted to do research further and share that with you because I wrote a novel, and it's my debut novel, and it's set in Narragansett. So I was kind of already, it was personal to me. And so for this story, though, I did open up my atlas, and I looked at where Narragansett is. And so my story is set in Narragansett, and she goes out to Black Island Sound and back and forth. This is the area of the story that I am sharing with you in my historical narrative. So basically what I've decided to do is flip open the book, flip through the pages, find a state, zero in, and then go from there and research that way. I think that's kind of fun to just kind of randomly explore things and see what's out there and discover new things. I didn't know half the things that I know now about Narragansett, Rhode Island, and Point Judith, partly because of the book I wrote and then the research I did for this video. So I don't know what it is about lighthouses, but they're very fascinating to me. I feel like they're mysterious and they're beautiful. And so that's kind of the draw also to why I set my story where I did on the East Coast, the New England seaboard, and then learning about the lighthouse there. But what surprised me about this research that I did, Point Judith clearly is a dangerous coast piece of land, area, the mass, the water, everything happening within that area of the Atlantic and Narragansett Bay and the rocks and the storms that come up. It's a dangerous place. But what really surprised me is another lighthouse called Minot's Ledge Light. And I was researching Narragansett, Rhode Island, Point Judith, using this book, which is called Famous New England Lighthouses by Edward Rowe Snow. And when I was thumbing through it, I came across this, and this looks really scary to me. Like, I can't imagine being out there. Well, what happened as I read this story and was focusing on it, two lighthouse workers were in here when a severe storm broke out and waves toppled over it, and it crashed the whole lighthouse into the sea, and they perished. But they were able to make it to shore, but they did not survive. And so now, so this is the second lighthouse, and it is an unmanned lighthouse for obvious reasons. It's very dangerous to be out there in the middle of the ocean. This is off of Massachusetts, and the Coast Guard has unmanned it, and it's there. So I would encourage you, if you're interested, to read about Minot's Ledge Light, and if you can, get a copy of Famous New England Lighthouses and read the story. So I also wanted to mention how I conduct my research. I pick a place, like I said, and I kind of think about it. And if it's something that strikes me, I will dig further into it. I open a Word doc, I do Google search, I take pieces of information, put them on the doc, go to the library, um, look at books, and write my stories from there. So I have all my research in front of me on a doc, and I just start typing and then let it sit for a while, go back, write it some more, rewrite it. It's just kind of a process. That's how I wrote my papers in college that way, how I teach my students to write. I'm a high school teacher, and so I kind of follow that same format, and it works well for me. So that's how I did that for this story as well. And I also wanted to point out this cool map. I don't know how well you can see it. I just got this as a gift from my dad the other day. This is a map of New England in 1780. And down here is Rhode Island. And it says the Massachusetts Bay and New Hampshire colonies. So all the colonies on the New England seaboard. And so I thought that was cool, and I wanted to share that with you. I'm gonna have that put in a frame and hang it up. I think it's beautiful. And so that's it. That's kind of a sneak peek or a look behind the scenes of what I do and how I do it and how I kind of go through the process. And I wanted to thank you for being here. If you're coming on after the fact, after the live is over and you have questions, please ask. Just drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. That's how I learn. Also, by you asking questions and sharing your knowledge and information with me, that's how we both learn and can grow. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have any questions, please, I'd be happy to hear from you and answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you in a month.